WTBQ.
Hello, welcome to ANGT Radio 93.5 WTBQ. Get up, wake up, move America, get it done, bring it back. Our health, our wellness, our overall fitness. We're here to educate, inspire, motivate, energize, and empower you to be the best you can be. Today we have some great guests alongside me. In the studio is the one and only Travis Jackson. Welcome, Travis.
Thank you, Rob.
We're going to be talking about a very serious topic today. As many of you know, there's a movie out right now, Bully, which we'll be speaking about. But more importantly, the issue of bullying. And Travis is very on top of that game, having a background. Travis, why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about yourself and about your background?
Thanks, Rob. Right now, I'm a New York State certified school counselor. I'm employed by the Ramapo Central School District down in Rockland County at Suffern Middle School. I've been a school counselor since 1997, having worked prior in the East Ramapo Central School District. And I think one of the biggest challenges that faces all of us in education, certainly as parents and members of the community, is the bullying issue, whether you're talking about traditional forms of bullying or you're talking about cyberbullying. So I'm here to support your efforts and to answer any questions that are out there and certainly provide any other information that the callers or listeners may have.
As Travis mentioned, we will be taking call-ins shortly. We are going to address the issue first, but some of the things that I would like to talk about, Travis, is one, we all know it's a serious problem.
Absolutely.
It's resulting in, it goes as far as kids, young teenagers, even younger, taking their own lives. And it's not just the physical abuse, it's the mental and emotional abuse, and it's really trying to reinforce to all kids, to educate them on the importance of the power of words and how destructive, hurtful, and harmful they can be.
Absolutely. I think back to my formative years and that old saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt, and that's certainly not applicable.
No, not at all. It's causing severe damage. But I think, Travis, one of the things I always spoke about, you know, my background's been martial arts, and I see how kids improve and increase their self-confidence, their self-esteem. So one of the things, as you know, one of my programs is a youth fitness and empowerment program we do under the umbrella of America's Next Great Trainer. But I wanted to ask you a few questions in regards to kids that are bullied. How do you think they stand in regards to confidence, self-esteem? Obviously, there's a serious issue there where I think their self-confidence has to be built up in their self-esteem. Absolutely.
One of the tips that I often share with parents when they call me or a situation comes up involving bullying is I always encourage parents to get their children to develop interests and hobbies that will build resiliency, to help them handle difficult situations like bullying, again, to increase their self-esteem, to get them to experience some success, feel good about themselves.
So as an example, if a child is being attacked verbally, not necessarily physically, but what I always use, I use the term building our youth from the inside out, where we are developing and doing things that's conditioning them to increase and improve their self-confidence, their self-esteem, and a positive attitude. I think that's one of the solutions, and I always believed, especially in even in regards to physical education programs, doing things that the child sees themselves improving and getting better, which in fact will build their self-confidence and self-esteem.
I absolutely agree.
And what could we do in regards to that? I mean, do you think, I would say, the DARE program, for example, addresses drug awareness and also deals with other issues, which I think is a great program. What are your thoughts on implementing programs, say a 6 to 8 week program or pilot programs in school systems that maybe addresses these issues, sort of like a youth fitness and empowerment program, addressing different scenarios, bully scenarios, and trying to instill values, not just in the bullying themselves as well?
I think it's a wonderful idea, and if I may just make quick mention of a new piece of legislation that's coming out in New York State that speaks to what you just brought up. It's called the Dignity for All Students Act, and it takes effect July 1st, 2012, and it's going to require all public schools in New York State to create safe and supportive school environments. The goal of the Dignity for All Students Act is to create safe and supportive school climates where students can learn and focus rather than being discriminated against and or verbally or physically harassed. So I know in our particular building at Suffern Middle School, we're bringing in the Ulvaeus Bullying Prevention Program.
WTBQ.
Hello, welcome to ANGT Radio 93.5 WTBQ. Get up, wake up, move America, get it done, bring it back. Our health, our wellness, our overall fitness. We're here to educate, inspire, motivate, energize, and empower you to be the best you can be. Today we have some great guests alongside me in the studio is the one and only Travis Jackson. Welcome, Travis.
Thank you, Rob.
We're going to be talking about a very serious topic today. As many of you know, there's a movie out right now, Bully, which we'll be speaking about. But more importantly, the issue of bullying. And Travis is very on top of that game, having a background. Travis, why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about yourself and about your background?
Thanks, Rob. Right now, I'm a New York State certified school counselor. I'm employed by the Ramapo Central School District down in Rockland County at Suffern Middle School. I've been a school counselor since 1997, having worked prior in the East Ramapo Central School District. And I think one of the biggest challenges that faces all of us in education, certainly as parents and members of the community, is the bullying issue, whether you're talking about traditional forms of bullying or you're talking about cyberbullying. So I'm here to support your efforts and to answer any questions that are out there and certainly provide any other information that the callers or listeners may have.
As Travis mentioned, we will be taking call-ins shortly. We are going to address the issue first, but some of the things that I would like to talk about, Travis, is one, we all know it's a serious problem.
Absolutely.
It's resulting in, it goes as far as kids, young teenagers, even younger, taking their own lives. And it's not just the physical abuse, it's the mental and emotional abuse, and it's really trying to reinforce to all kids, to educate them on the importance of the power of words and how destructive, hurtful, and harmful they can be.
Absolutely. I think back to my formative years in that old saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt, and that's certainly not applicable.
No, not at all. It's causing severe damage. But I think, Travis, one of the things I always spoke about, you know, my background's been martial arts, and I see how kids improve and increase their self-confidence, their self-esteem. So one of the things, as you know, one of my programs is a youth fitness and empowerment program we do under the umbrella of America's Next Great Trainer. But I wanted to ask you a few questions in regards to kids that are bullied. How do you think they stand in regards to confidence, self-esteem? Obviously, there's a serious issue there where I think their self-confidence has to be built up in their self-esteem.
Absolutely. One of the tips that I often share with parents when they call me or a situation comes up involving bullying is I always encourage parents to get their children to develop interests and hobbies that will build resiliency, to help them handle difficult situations like bullying, again, to increase their self-esteem, to get them to experience some success, feel good about themselves.
So as an example, if a child is being attacked verbally, not necessarily physically, but what I always use, I use the term building our youth from the inside out, where we are developing and doing things that's conditioning them to increase and improve their self-confidence, their self-esteem, and a positive attitude. I think that's one of the solutions, and I always believed, especially in even in regards to physical education programs, doing things that the child sees themselves improving and getting better, which in fact will build their self-confidence and self-esteem.
I absolutely agree.
And what could we do in regards to that? I mean, do you think, like I would say, like the DARE program, for example, addresses drug awareness and also deals with other issues, which I think is a great program. What are your thoughts on implementing programs, say a 6 to 8 week program or pilot programs in school systems that maybe addresses these issues, like sort of like a youth fitness and empowerment program, addressing different scenarios, bully scenarios, and trying to instill values, not just in the bullying themselves as well?
I think it's a wonderful idea, and if I may just make quick mention of a new piece of legislation that's coming out in New York State that speaks to what you just brought up. It's called the Dignity for All Students Act, and it takes effect July 1st, 2012. And it's going to require all public schools in New York State to create safe and supportive school environments. The goal of the Dignity for All Students Act is to create safe and supportive school climates where students can learn and focus rather than being discriminated against and or verbally or physically harassed. So I know in our particular building at Suffern Middle School, we're bringing in the Ulvaeus Bullying Prevention Program, which is going to be used to enhance our current full value character education program. So I think it goes back to, again, your character education programs, which at least in our building is run through the wellness and the health and the physical education department. So I think that speaks again back to what you're talking about, getting the kids physically active, getting them working together to creatively solve problems, to build a sense of community. In the beginning of the year, with the 6th grade, I'm working with 6th graders right now, we have a full value day where we have different concepts and beliefs that center around community and being safe and being here and having fun and caring for self, caring for others, setting goals. And we have a day where we just bring everybody outside, they're running around, they're engaging in different activities and games that center around those core values. And then that's how you kick off the year.
That's what's happening right now. That's what you do.
That's what happened. That's how we kick off the school year.
I think that's awesome. That's very, very important, especially creating that atmosphere, that interaction with the other kids. Now back to this program, Dignity for All. So is this going to be a program that is going to be implemented as a program throughout the year, or is this a program like a weekly, or how is that?
It's the New York State Dignity for All Students Act, or DASA. It's through the New York State Education Department, so it's something that all public schools in New York State are going to have to do. They're going to be required to create, they're going to have reporting timelines in effect. They're going to have to update their codes of conduct to include language specific to bullying and harassment and intimidation. So it's districts have till July 1 to get on board and have their plans
July
in place.
1st, have to have it in place by July 1st.
Correct.
That would be for the school year, this 2012 school year.
Correct.
Well, that's great. That's outstanding.
Right.
So, all right. So that's an awesome solution. And I just want to share with everyone, if you have a question, if you want to call in, please do so. We will give you that phone number in a couple of minutes as soon as I find it here. It is 845-986-7764. I will have another number in a minute, which will be coming at me any moment now.
While we're looking for that number, the New York State Dignity for All Students Act was signed into law on September 13th, 2010. Legislation amended state education law by creating a new article. The Dignity Act states that no student shall be subjected to harassment or discrimination by employees or students on school property or at a school function based on their actual or perceived race, color, weight, national origin, ethnic group, religion, religious practice, disability, sexual orientation, gender, or sex.
This is a big deal.
Sweeping.
This is big. This is great, Travis.
Yeah.
That's outstanding. So once again, I guess people can look more into this online, obviously, and if they were to look this up, it would be Dignity for All Students Act?
Sure. If you to learn more about the Dignity for All Students Act, you can visit www.p12.nysed.gov/Dignity Act, and I'm sure we'll put that up on your website if people want more information.
Absolutely.
Or they can just go to Google and type in Dignity for All Students Act or DASA.
Absolutely going to put that on the website. And again, we have Travis will be at our expo, the ANGT Youth Fitness and Empowerment Program. We'll be demonstrating different things there, exercise, health, fitness, workouts, and of course, most importantly, life skills and addressing the serious social issue of bullying. And we have a lot of other things going on. You could find out more information about the expo. It is to benefit a great organization, Big Brothers, Big Sisters. You can go to www.angt.tv. And as I said earlier, you can call in. And if you have any questions for Travis or myself, 845-651-1110. And again, the topic at this time is bullying and addressing the issues and providing some sort of solutions. And as Travis mentioned, there is the Dignity for All Students Act which will go into effect July 1st, July 1. So that means that school districts must have their plan in place by July 1st.
Correct.
So for the September 2012 school year, this will taking place. So if hopefully you've heard some of the things that Travis went over in regards to the program, sounds like an outstanding program and a huge step for addressing the issue of bullying.
Our neighbors in New Jersey have a similar law. It's called the Harassment, Intimidation, and Bullying Prevention Statute, or HIB. And you know, we're following in suit with them and with other states around the country, because I think I read somewhere that at least 30 states in the U.S. have some type of anti-bullying or bullying prevention legislation on their books.
Now, in regards to consequence, I know in New Jersey they seem to be addressing, which it's not that I disagree, but laws and anti-bullying laws and all of this, but I still think it also goes down to really paying more attention to the victims, because I still think there's a big lack of self-confidence, and I contribute a lot of that to lack of activity in regards to the youth. I think they become very sedentary, and that also is proven through the obesity rate among our youth. And it all has to really start within the home, with the parents educating the children about health and fitness, getting them more active, and really paying close attention to how they feel on the inside, because health and fitness is a very important part of life. It should be a habit. It should be something that you instill in children at a very young age, being active, eating healthy, because I think the other issue, which, you know, I don't want to, it's a whole topic in itself, but is the sugar intake in the kids that has to be monitored to some degree, because it's so great, and it causes a roller coaster ride for our youth in regards to their emotions and dealing with certain things as far as their focus and concentration.
I wholeheartedly agree, and that's why I'm glad at New York State we still have physical education in our schools.
It blows my mind how some schools are just doing away with their phys ed programs.
Right.
And the lack of activity, because of course today with technology the way it is, and all the games that are out there, they're just basically, like I said, sedentary and inactive. But the bullying issue can be addressed. One way is these programs that you've mentioned, and I think other ways that I think a parent can get involved is paying attention to their kids and getting them active. And I was always a big believer in the martial arts, and I strongly encourage, outside of the school system and these programs, such as the one Travis mentioned, is that you look into a program, a martial arts program, because it instills such great values in kids. A qualified instructor can do great things for your children, and develop self-confidence, self-esteem, and the core values of respect, discipline. And it is also Autism Awareness Month, and many of my students were autistic. And what was amazing to me is the amount of effort that they put into a class, and how they improved in so many different areas. So it's very important paying attention to your children, getting them involved in activities. Search out a martial arts program. I guarantee you will be very happy. But again, view the class first, take the necessary steps, make sure you're going into a quality program, and it could have great impact on your child's life. But Travis, do you have any thoughts on martial arts programs?
I think anything, again, that can get the kids active, get them to feel a sense of self-confidence, self-control, again, empowering them. You know, my daughters are big into dance. So again, as a way to be a part of something, to express themselves, to get out any negative energy, you know, that they had from that day. But certainly, a lot of students that I come into contact with are involved with martial arts, and they do seem to enjoy it.
Well, another great benefit you have there, Travis, is that your wife, Marisol, is a Zumba instructor.
Right. Have to give a shout out to Zumba.
And I have to tell you, I went up and I experienced Marisol's Zumba class, and it was very, very empowering. What really got me was the kids' involvement. Yep. I never realized how involved kids are in Zumba.
I have to tell you, I do know a lot about Zumba. You know, having again married to to a very beautiful woman that's very passionate about Zumba, and there is a program, Zumba Atomic, which is strictly for kids. You have to be specially trained in it. So you know, we're trying to encourage as many kids to get involved with Zumba.
Well, now that we're on the topic, why don't you let our listeners know where they can find Marisol's Zumba Atomic class for the kids?
All right, Marisol and her partner Jessica. Their business is Get Fit with Jam. They're located at Strictly Ballroom, which is in New Windsor, just past the Five Corners. And if you visit their website, www.getfitwithjam.com, you'll get all the information there. Come check out their classes. They offer Zumba every day of the week, I believe.
And just so you know, we are talking about bullying and developing confidence in the kids, and part of that is having the kids being active. And I've experienced Zumba class, Marisol's Zumba class, and with the kids, and I've personally seen how happy the kids were, how energized they were, how empowering it was for them, and I could see how that would have a great impact in their life. And again, self-confidence. To me, the best way to defeat a bully is self-confidence.
Absolutely.
You have self-confidence, especially when it comes to the words. You know, physical issue is one thing, but when it comes to those harsh, hurtful words, if a child has self-confidence and they could somehow manage those thoughts and be like more of a reflector where it doesn't really manifest within themselves to where they get lower self-esteem or self-confidence. But again, being active, check out a Zumba class or other activities, martial arts classes.
I think, something that speaks to what you just brought up, some of the research out there about bullying suggests that there are 3 interrelated reasons why students bully. The research points out that students who bully are often rewarded in some way for their behavior with material or psychological rewards. Students who bully oftentimes will find satisfaction in causing injury or suffering to other students, or students who bully or kids who bully have strong need to overpower and dominate others. So if you're getting involved with a martial arts program, if you're getting involved with dance program, fitness, Zumba, whatever it is, it's going to increase your confidence and your self-esteem. Those are ways to combat those types of that type of negativity.
I agree 100%. And that the other thing is that, as much as we want to address, the bully is also not necessarily a victim. They're picking and choosing their victims. And more than likely, they're picking and choosing the ones that they know that they can defeat, they can beat down verbally or mentally and emotionally and physically. They're not so much going to go after the one that is self-confident or that looks like they may cause some sort of retaliation. But again, that comes from self-confidence, but also the bully has to be addressed too, because really they suffer from the same types of issues, low self-confidence and low self-esteem, I would think.
Absolutely. And it's also important that if your child is the bully, if you're the parent and you get that call from the school that your child is the bully, that you have to make it clear to your child that you take bullying seriously and that it's not okay. It's not okay to treat others that way. You have to make rules within your family for your child's behavior. Praise your child for when they do the right thing. But again, apply logical consequences for bullying when they do make those poor choices. And again, research shows that you should spend lots of time with your child to keep close track of his or her activities, find out who their friends are and how their friends spend their free time. And again, build on your child's talents by encouraging him or her to get involved in positive activities, clubs, music, lessons, sports, fitness. And if you need more help, certainly then reach out to the school, contact your school counselor, school psychologist, or another.
You can't emphasize that enough.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
reaching out for those school counselors. I mean, that's why also, all due respect, Travis, you have in that position, that's a key role. That's you see a lot and hear a lot.
I do. I do.
Managing that, and I admire that. And those tips that you gave are awesome, and hopefully I'll be able to get some of that and put links on my website.
Sure.
So parents can go to that, because those are some great tips that you were giving out. And that brings me to another topic of bullying, which I know you speak frequently about, is cyberbullying.
Absolutely. Which
has become more of a bigger issue now with this with Facebook and the social media and the texting. How the kids are totally defeated and beaten down by people that do not even have a clue on who these people really are.
Right.
They're creating these pages on Facebook, and that is tough for a kid to manage. When
Sure.
a kid comes home and they find out something like this, and they go on those pages and see these harsh, hurtful things that are being said about them, that's a tough thing to manage.
Yeah, cyberbullying has actually made my job personally a lot more difficult for reasons as you just mentioned. Again, it used to be, before the advent of the internet and cell phones, smartphones, and some of these other mediums, it's just that, kids would get, hammered verbally or physically during the school day, and then they could go home and, kind of brush it off and then go back the next day for more. But nowadays, kids go home
every day,
and it's there 24/7.
Brutal.
It is. Cyberbullying is when one individual or a group targets another using interactive technologies. Again, it's intentional, it's repeated, it causes harm, and it's inflicted through the use of a variety of different mediums. I don't know if the listeners, certainly I think the listeners know about cell phones and smartphones with texting. I don't know if the listeners are aware, the audience is aware of that video games is another forum where kids can be bullied. You can use the technology similar to what we're using now to play interactively with, people who they think are their own ages, or could even be adults, and we're getting into a whole other realm when you're
just
interacting online with that.
I think with that said, Travis,
Right.
I think really what it comes down to is, and I know, speaking as a single parent to my daughter, who you know very well,
Right.
but parents have to monitor and try to somehow make time to find out what's going on in their kids' lives, because I think we as parents get so caught up with our jobs, with other, and everything that's going on, that you really you lose contact in that connection of what's happening, and these things can be festering, and all they do is build and build and build. So
Right.
I think it's very important for parents really to monitor those Facebook pages, to monitor all of these interactive games that these kids are playing now with technology, and because this is a big form of bullying, is the cyberbullying.
Absolutely agree. Some of the warning signs, some of the things to look for, specifically with cyberbullying. Again, the obvious warning sign that your child may be the victim of cyberbullying involves a marked change in their technology-related habits. I often refer to young people in this generation as digital natives. They live in the technology, whereas you and I are digital tourists. We sometimes stop in, we look at the phone. I was looking at your issues before with your MacBook computer there and not knowing the password. So we're digital tourists. We stop in and we check it out. So again, any change in a young person's technology-related habits, like they unexpectedly stop using the computer, your kid's got their nose in their laptop 24/7, all of a sudden they just stop. If they appear nervous or jumpy when an instant message or a text appears on their phone, if they avoid answering their cell phone in front of you, if they appear to be angry, depressed, or frustrated after using the computer or texting, or they avoid discussions, which speaks to what you were saying before, avoiding discussions about what he or she is doing on the computer. I think parents in a lot of ways are afraid or leery of the technology, but you really have to venture into cyberspace with your kids. You need to create, like when new families register in our district, they have to sign a, like a technology form, like an appropriate use form. You have to have that appropriate use form at the house too. Set time limits for how much time the kids are on the computer. And again, it's perfectly acceptable to grab your kid's phone and say, okay, I want to see who you're texting.
So this is a joint effort. I think we have to all be on the same page here. And we will be right back. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with Travis Jackson, addressing bullying, coming up, some health and fitness with Mindy Weinberg and Qivanna Natural Health Products. ANGT Radio, 93.5 WTBQ.
This is Frank Fonario. Join me Monday mornings at 9 for the WTBQ Roundtable with Life, Love, and Chocolate Chip Cookies. We'll cover a wide range of topics and we'll take your phone calls. It's a WTBQ Roundtable with Frank Fonario here on WTBQ Monday mornings at 9 o'clock.
Hi, this is Tony Abatini, your host of Game On, the first sports chalk radio show bringing you the inside scoop on improving your game. From the big leagues to little leagues, from college recruiting to strength and speed training, tune in on Fridays at 1 o'clock for Game On.
WTBQ weather.
We'll have a few showers lingering this evening under mostly cloudy skies, with lows dropping down to the mid to upper 30s. Now we'll start out with a little bit of sun tomorrow, then more clouds arrive for the afternoon, with highs reaching the low to mid 50s. Now mostly cloudy for Wednesday night, lows back to the mid to upper 30s. Thursday, it looks like a partly sunny day with showers remaining mainly east as highs reach the mid to upper 50s. From the WTBQ Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Mike Mahalik.
Hi, I'm Dave Edwards, and I invite you to join me every Tuesday night when we'll showcase a perfect album. I'll start with side 1, track 1, and we'll play every song in order from the record. A few bonus songs, as well as some trivia too, right here on WTBQ.
WTBQ.
Hello, welcome back to ANGT Radio, 93.5 WTBQ. I'm with Travis Jackson, and the discussion was bullying. We are going to take a little break from that and talk about our health and fitness with Justin Banner of Qivanna. He's the founder of Qivanna Natural Health Systems. How you doing, Justin?
Hey, I'm good. How you doing? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, Justin, why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about your product, about yourself, and about how we're going to better the lives of families across America.
Yeah, no problem. Qivanna is a company that's about 3 years old now, and this is an industry I've been in for about the last 15 years. Natural products, health and wellness, and helping people really take control of their health. And I got together with 4 different partners, and each of us had about 45 collective years experience in natural products. And when we came together, we really wanted to form something different. We realized that there's a lot of weaknesses with the natural product industry, and one of the main ones is that people were just kind of confused about what they should be taking. There were so many products available. When you go on to like an Amazon website or any of the other websites, when you walk into the health food store, everybody gets overwhelmed. You almost have to have your PhD in nutrition to be able to select products. For instance, if you go to just a retail shelf and want a B vitamin, you're often faced with 15 to 20 different choices of B vitamins. And so we made it really, really, really simple. We boiled it down into product systems. And so our unique approach is to take 2 or 3 products, put them together in a system that's a step 1, step 2, step 3 format to achieve an end benefit. For instance, we have a metabolic system that we partnered with a doctor out of the University of Illinois, and it's a 3-step system to correcting your metabolism, and which in turn corrects your body composition. We also have a 3-step system that delivers nitric oxide throughout your system. And so you get the idea that our unique angle is to really simplify all of the wonderful products that have come to market, to only choose the best of the best, and put them in a very easy-to-follow regimen.
Justin, why don't you tell us a little bit about the nitric oxide?
Yeah, that's a super exciting product that we just launched about 2.5 months ago. This is, of course, nitric oxide was the Nobel Prize was given for it back in 1997, but there hasn't been a lot of innovation around nitric oxide. But this is probably one of the biggest breakthroughs the natural product industry has seen. And our unique approach to the way we develop products is to license technologies, mostly from universities. And so we're not an R&D house in and of ourselves, but we're a distribution company and a marketing company that helps spread the word about all these unbelievable technologies. And so a lot of people, if you're familiar with nitric oxide, they know about L-arginine as a way to get nitric oxide, L-arginine being a popular amino acid that bodybuilders use. And the reason they're taking it is because they know that it dilates their blood vessels. It helps blood vessels expand. And when you do that, you
Justin, not to
obviously
interrupt
get
you,
better
but a lot of I think a lot of the fitness people now are either using this product, so this is a popular product. I've been seeing that a lot lately, nitric oxide.
Yeah, nitric oxide has kind of become a buzzword, right? A lot of people are using it because it's very powerful. When you give your body L-arginine, it can convert it into nitric oxide. And when you get nitric oxide, your blood vessels dilate, they expand, and they get better circulation, they get better oxygen flow throughout their body, better delivery of nutrients. But one of the stories that hasn't been told about nitric oxide is that L-arginine is a really inefficient way to get it. And as you get older, above the age of 40, then your body can't convert L-arginine very effectively. In fact, it's a very inefficient pathway. Less than 3% of L-arginine gets converted to nitric oxide. And so we have a very unique delivery system that actually converts an entirely different nutrient, not using L-arginine at all, but using nitrates and nitrites. These convert much more efficiently, much more effectively, and deliver higher percentages of nitric oxide. And so some of the benefits people notice is, of course, improved circulation. They get better delivery of nutrients and oxygen all throughout the different tissues of their body, so their mind works better. They get a reduction in blood pressure because the blood vessels are expanding, so that if you think of it as a hose, the hose becomes bigger, that blood's going through. Your heart's not having to work as hard. Even it can help improve sexual function, because as you age and your circulation slows down, a lot of optimal sexual function is related to circulation. And so this helps all of these systems of the body and has become an incredibly hot product for us. And one of the very unique things that we have is the ability to, with a saliva test strip, test your current nitric oxide levels. And so you can just lick this little instant indicator, we call it, and you can instantly know how much nitric oxide is circulating throughout your body. And most people over the age of 40 will find that they're not at optimal levels.
Well, Justin, a lot of people in the studio are shaking their heads, nodding yes. I think, why don't you send a case of that down to the studio?
It's on its way. It's on its way. No, it's true. You know, nitric oxide, you produce, you kind of peak out about age 20 of producing optimal levels, and by 40 you produce half of what you did naturally at 20. And so unless you get it through a lot of hardcore vegetarian-type diets, then you just don't get enough. And, of course, the typical American doesn't get enough, which is the whole reason we supplement in the first place. But this has become an unbelievable supplement because it has such measurable differences with this instant indicator, and then all of these side benefits that we talked about are some of the hot buttons in America today.
Well, with some of your feedback, when do people experience some sort of feeling of change within their body on this nitric oxide?
This is the part you're not going to believe. Usually, the whole thing with natural products is you got to wait 90 days, right? This isn't a pharmaceutical. Take it for 90 days. This is a product that you can actually test 10 minutes later. And the effect of taking the product from the time that it hits your tongue, because it's just a powder you pour right into your mouth, your body starts to convert those nitrates and nitrites into nitric oxide instantly. And within 10 to 15 minutes, you can actually notice a significant change in blood pressure. And using our instant indicator, you can see those instant results as well.
Now, how long has this company, Qivanna, been around?
So Qivanna's been around since 2008. We launched we left our jobs as executives of a big company in 2008. We had our soft launch in the spring of 2009, our official launch in the fall of 2009, so relatively young. But because of the partnerships and the strategic alliances we've been able to make, we're bringing products out that have about a decade or more in research. And so, for instance, we call it Prime, nitric oxide activator, has over a decade of research just creating that one product. And then we came in and were able to license that technology exclusively. And then we were also able to partner with a scientist out of the University of Illinois that had 30 years of research on human metabolism, and we were able to create a product system around body composition changes using his system. And so while we're a young company, we're bringing to light research that has been decades in the making.
That sounds pretty amazing there, Justin. Where could people find out more information about your products?
Yeah, so a good website is qinfosite.com, qinfo, I-N-F-O, site.com. And as you know, Dave Wood is somebody that we're connected with, and davewood1000@gmail.com has all kinds of answers too, davewood1000@gmail.com. So, yeah, our company has seen an explosion. We've been able to do tens of millions of dollars of sales in a short period of time, and I think it's a testament to the scientists who have done unbelievable work before Qivanna was even created in making these discoveries.
Well, I'm very happy that you were able to join us, Justin, and I very much look forward to speaking with you further about Qivanna and the natural health systems, and thank you very much for sharing that information. And like I said, I look forward to having you and Dave back on the show. And again, to get up, wake up, move America, bringing our health, wellness, and fitness back to where it should be. So,
perfect.
Justin,
thanks so much for having me on.
Thank you, Justin. Take care. Well, that was Justin Banner from Qivanna Natural Health Systems. And again, a big part of our program, of course, is the health, fitness, and wellness of everyone in general. And again, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. And that's why we're addressing the issues. You know, a big part of our program, of course, is our youth and addressing the issues of bullying. And today we are pleasured by having guest Travis Jackson, who's sharing his insights, thoughts, and solutions. And one of the big things that I found out today is this Dignity for All Students Act being implemented in the school systems, which I'm very excited about. And with us now on the line, we have Mindy Weinberg from Cardio Clubbing. Mindy, how are you?
Hey, Rob, I'm great. How are you?
Very, very well, thank you. So, Mindy, why don't you tell us a little bit about your program, Cardio Clubbing? It sounds very exciting.
It is very exciting, and thank you so much for having me on the show. My name is Mindy. As you know, I'm 33 years old, but I have to admit, I feel like I'm going on 21 in spirit and energy.
I like that.
I'm a wife. I'm a mom. I have 2 little girls. They're 4 and 7. I grew up in Rockland, so I'm local. I've been a fitness enthusiast ever since I can remember. I used to work at the Gold's Gym before it was New York Sports Club. I don't know if anybody remembers. The one on Demarest. So that was my first job in college. I worked the front desk of the gym, and I absolutely knew from that moment that I felt most at home in the gym.
That was your path.
That was my path. I also remember seeing my dad pump iron at home before going to work, and I remember thinking, like, oh, I want to be strong like that. You know, he had such a good influence on me as a kid.
Oh, that's great. Your father your father was a great influence.
Great influence. Yeah, it makes such a big difference when you have kids, when they see their parents working out and being healthy. It's huge. And you never know when it's going to come back, you know, because fast forward a few years, and after college, I was settled down in a full-time job as a graphic designer, and I found myself, you know, in that trap that I think a lot of people find themselves in, you know, believing that they don't have time to work out, they don't have time to take control of their health. And it's really something that you just have to make time for. After getting married and having a couple of kids, I found myself dealing with a lot of extra weight. I wanted to get rid of it, and I decided to really take control of my health. Someone had passed along a fabulous book written by Tosca Reno called Clean Eating. That totally changed my life. Got my butt back into the gym at that point, started lifting weights, moving more. I got back into dancing, which I had always loved as a kid. And I got to say, you know, making all those choices really added up to a whole lifestyle change, and I really got my mojo back. And building self-confidence through fitness is where it's at. So it really gives you back the reins on your life, and now it's really a lifestyle I'd never give up.
Well, you said some very important things there. Clean eating, and then most importantly, as in life, everything we do is dependent on choices. The choices we make every single day. And some people, like you said, I think right now we're at a point with, I think most people know what state we're in regards to our obesity issue. It's just overwhelming. It's out of control. And bottom line, we have to be accountable, and you can make time. And the other thing, bottom line, it starts in the kitchen and clean eating. Eating a little bit healthier, making small changes. That there really does not have to be dramatic change.
That's right. We all have 24 hours in a day. That's what I always, if anyone ever says I don't have time, I mean, we're all in the same world. We all have the same struggles with time and family, and we all have family affairs to go to where there's unhealthy food and things like that. It's okay to treat yourself once in a while, but to commit to a healthy lifestyle is so important, and to show our children that we do that. So I'm definitely a big supporter of all of that now. And cardio clubbing is something that that I started last June, and it really was something that kind of morphed through very organically through a lot of my own life experience. It's a brand new type of workout. It combines getting fit with getting out. So, sorry?
I like it.
Thank you. The getting fit part, I would describe it as a 1-hour matrix of super high energy cardio intervals. The movements are, I would say, a combination of hip-hop dance, aerobics, plyometrics, and strength training all in one. So you can, expect to get a really good sweat going. All the moves can be modified to accommodate different levels. And the getting out part is, I think, what makes cardio clubbing so much fun and so different from a lot of the other workouts out there. There's a definite party vibe in the room. I mean, when you go, you can expect club lighting, a spinning mirror disco ball, rope light around the dance floor, great sound. I've got hot playlists, and last but certainly not least, the club attire. I personally go all out, but, that's just me.
What's the club?
I encourage everyone to come
club
dressed in something sassy or blingy.
Oh, that's nice. So now, can you imagine Friday happy hour starting out? Forget the alcohol. We're going clubbing. We're going clubbing. We're going to do some cardio clubbing. Can you imagine?
Yep.
Like, you're on the dance floor. You're on the dance floor for most people, go to a club. They're on the dance floor, I guess, for like 5 hours anyway, right? So if you just let's take away the alcohol and just
it's the kind of thing I could honestly do for hours. I could just do it for hours. I mean, this is a 1-hour class, but it is so much fun. And I mean, it's a great opportunity. Girls love it. We bust out those cute little numbers hiding in the back of the closet.
So a great way for singles to meet too. Another great venue for fit singles to meet fit singles at
absolutely.
Cardio
That
Clubbing.
is definitely something
Happy
on the horizon. I've been thinking about
Mindy
that.
Weinberg.
Absolutely. It's a great idea, Rob. It really, really is. It's a great idea.
So now, where can people find a little more information about yourself and about Cardio Clubbing?
Well, Cardio Clubbing, the best place to go to get more information is the website. That's cardioclubbing.com. I'm on Facebook, facebook.com/cardioclubbing. And if anybody wants to send any emails, you can send it to mindy@cardioclubbing.com. We were recently featured in the Fitness RX magazine under Fit Trends for 2012, so that was very exciting.
Oh, sure. Congratulations.
I think there's a lot of really great things happening, down the line, and even now we have some very exciting things coming up.
I have been reading about your past successes, and we're very excited about having you as part of the America's Next Great Trainer Health, Fitness, and Wellness Expo at Rockland Community College in Suffern to benefit Big Brothers Big Sisters. We're looking forward to some pure, positive, high-energy, jet-fueled stuff coming from Mindy Weinberg and Cardio Clubbing. Mindy,
you are going to get it. We are going to get on stage, and we're going to rock that place.
We're very excited about it. I cannot thank you enough for joining us, and we're definitely going to have you back on the show. Again,
thank you.
Mindy Weinberg, Cardio Clubbing. One more time, Mindy, where can they find you on Facebook and your website?
The website is www.cardioclubbing.com. I'd like to mention that Thursday, April 19th, we have a grand relocation kickoff class. We're recently relocated from one location to a new one, and we'll be at Body Quest Gym, which is located at 582 Route 303 in Blauvelt. And we're going to be there Thursday, April 19th, 8:30 p.m., and that's going to kick off the new cardio clubbing schedule, which is every Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. at Body Quest Gym in Blauvelt.
So I think everyone...
All that info is on the website, cardioclubbing.com. And again, like us on Facebook. It's facebook.com/cardioclubbing, and you'll stay abreast on everything cardio clubbing. We've got lots of exciting things coming up.
Well, we'll be staying in touch with you for sure, Mindy. Again, thank you very, very much for joining us, and keep empowering those people, as I know you will be.
Thank you so much. You too. I'll see you on the 6th at the Expo.
Absolutely, Mindy. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, that was Mindy Weinberg. Again, that was some pretty good stuff there. We had some
Absolutely.
natural health systems, and Mindy Weinberg, some cardio clubbing.
Yeah, Mindy brought me back because I used to work out at that Gold's Gym back in the day. And I found it ironic.
Travis back
I found ironic that the Gold's Gym is located right next to the Rockland Bakery.
Oh, there we go. Finish that cardio club
right, and then go grab some bear claws.
That bakery is something. A little shout out there to Rockland Bakery. That's legendary, right? Yeah, it's sometimes. Well, let's talk about that for a minute before we go back into the bullying. You go, you enjoy your workout.
Right.
Everything I think in moderation. Sure.
Mindy said it too. It's okay to treat yourself every now and then.
Just do that cardio clubbing class and just treat yourself at a Rockland Bakery.
Right.
But all right, now back, Travis. We're going to finish up here. We have a few minutes left.
Sure.
Let's talk about what we're going to do. We already know that we have programs being implemented that are addressing these situations. Parents, mom and dad, we strongly encourage you. Sit down with your children. A few times a week, 2 to 3 times a week. Really, really let them know. That you're dedicating that time to know what they're experiencing in school, outside of school, so that you're well aware and staying on top of their feelings, because that's what's so very important.
Right. I think it's also important for parents to know, since we did mention the Dignity for All Students Act, and we're talking about legislation in schools increasing or modifying their current codes of conduct. I think it's important as it relates to cyberbullying for parents and listeners and the audience to be aware that cyberbullying is currently considered a Class A misdemeanor, aggravated harassment in the 2nd degree. And there have been, parents that have engaged the police, if the situation does get that serious. And certainly as someone that, has been in these situations before, I certainly encourage parents to take those actions if they feel it's necessary. I know that on the local front, Senator Jeffrey Klein and some of the members of the Independent Democratic Committee unveiled legislation recently to modernize New York State's harassment laws and crack down on cyberbullying. Because in a lot of ways, the internet, Rob, is like the Wild West. The laws still haven't caught up with the technology.
I agree with that 100%.
So some of the things that Jeffrey Klein, he's a Democrat, represents the Bronx, Westchester County. They want to update the crime of 3rd-degree stalking, which is a Class A misdemeanor, to include cyberbullying. This is identified as a course of conduct using electronic communications that is likely to cause harm, emotional distress to a person under the age of 21. And you made reference to it earlier in the program, but they also want to expand the charge of 2nd-degree manslaughter, which is a Class C felony, to include bullycide. And bullycide is defined as when a person engages in cyberbullying and intentionally or recklessly causes the victim to commit suicide.
That's some pretty harsh stuff.
Yeah, there's far too many cases of bullycide that that have made the front page of the papers and the television news. We don't need to go into the specifics of the situations now, but it is a phenomenon, a very troubling phenomenon.
And I think it's a shame that we have to resort to these sort of consequences, but I think it has to happen, because people obviously are not taking or being accountable and responsible themselves, and what they're saying and doing is affecting the lives of people to the point of taking their own lives, which in turn affects so many other people.
Right, which goes back to what you said before. I think a lot of it starts in the home. we can certainly look at, the changes in our society and the changes to our community that have just, I think kind of led to some of the different situations that we've talked about tonight. But, again, unfortunately, in my line of work, I have a very, very a tremendous staff at Suffern Middle School. I have a tremendous amount of community support, a tremendous amount of parent support, certainly support from our central office administrators, our building administration. So when these situations do occur, 9 times out of 10, the parents are appropriate in their responses. So that does help the situation.
So in your history, do you find that the bully themselves, that there's something, I think, more than likely happening at home that's causing the bully to inflict this sort of mental and emotional pain onto someone else?
I think each case is certainly unique and each circumstance is different, but in a lot of cases that I have worked with, again, it goes back to what Mindy was saying before when it goes to fitness. It's important for kids to see their parents engaged in healthy activities. I think it's important for kids to see their parents engaged in healthy activities, in appropriate relationships, and how you resolve conflicts in a positive way, a non-confrontational way, because kids will mirror what they see at home.
Great stuff.
So
I agree with that 100%.
And I know that we talked before the program began about that movie, Bully. I don't know if you wanted to mention that at all.
Yes. Let's talk. Yeah, let's talk about that. Absolutely. Lee Hirsch directed a movie. Some of you may know or may not know. There's a movie out there, Bully, directed by Lee Hirsch and Harvey Weinstein. Right. And Travis and I were speaking about people going out to see that movie because it was rated R at one point. Right. They have put it now to a PG-13. Reason being, the motion picture industry felt it is important for kids to see the impact that they're having as a result of bullying and what bullying can do to people. I mean, it's taking the lives of young people. So, Travis, your thoughts on taking parents taking their kids to see that movie?
I think it's important for any parents. I think it's important for teachers. I think it's important for educators. Anyone in the community that has a vested interest in our young people, has a vested interest in our future, which really should be everyone, should take the time out to see the film either in the theaters or certainly through the proper channels, get the film, once it's released on DVD, and use it as a teachable moment. I'd love to be able to bring it into the schools. And
how do you think that will go? Do you think you could pull that one off?
Sure.
Because I think that's a very good point.
As a matter of fact, I should mention, as it relates to technology and everything else we've talked about tonight, bullying and internet safety, Suffern Middle School is going to be hosting Ann Collier on Monday, April 16th at 7:30 p.m. in the Suffern Middle School auditorium. Ann Collier is very well known in the field of internet safety and appropriate use of technology. I believe she was a member of the Obama administration's Online Safety Council at one point. She's authored a few books. She's authored several articles. So she's going to be coming to the middle school. Again, that's Monday, April 16th at 7:30. That's free of charge. First come, first serve.
7:30. That's evening. So that's open to people in general.
Correct.
Oh, that's great. 7:30, Suffern Middle School, Ann Collier.
Yeah, because I think, again, the more information that we as adults, we as digital tourists have as it relates to cyberbullying, bullying. Like, for instance, I know we're running short on time, but I always do this little quiz with my audiences when I talk about cyberbullying. For instance, if your daughter texted PAW as you were entering the room, what do you think that stands for?
PAW. Travis, you're putting me on the spot now. I have no idea.
Parents are watching.
Oh.
So again, why not that your daughter would do this necessarily, but why would a young person have to type PAW to their friends? Yeah. Parents are watching. Or PIR, parents in room. So I think, again, it's important for the adults.
Now, where can you find that? I guess that's just
I Googled it.
Just Google that
I Googled it, and I found some of the common acronyms that young people use, and that's when I speak to groups. this is what I do. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be speaking about cyberbullying for those of you that are interested at the Highland Falls Library on Monday, May 14th. I want to say the hours will be it'll be like 6 p.m. Don't hold me to that. I'll make sure I give Rob the information so he can put it on his website.
That will definitely be on the website.
If you're interested in hearing more and learning more about cyberbullying and all the different issues that I talked about tonight, you can come out to the Highland Falls Library on Monday, May 14th.
Again, I would strongly encourage people to take part in that because you're giving some people some great information. And I think myself, even the acronyms, it just shows you how out of the loop you really are. Those are just very innocent little things, but it goes far beyond what we can even imagine.
Right.
But we're here at ANGT Radio 93.5 WTBQ on the very positive side. The school systems, the Dignity
for All Students Act.
Coming July 1st. So we're addressing the bullying issue. It's about educating, motivating, inspiring you to be better, look better, feel better. ANGT Radio 93.5 WTBQ with Travis Jackson. Thank you very much, and talk to you soon.